So the leak that I've been having on this Jeep, this is the gold one here, is from this vent cap here. So if I undo it, let's see if we can hear it. Usually it has like a little noise. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it is leaking from the Schrader valve there. So today we're gonna change that out. Before I do though, I do wanna test my pressures just to see where I'm at, and then test them afterwards to see if we actually lose any refrigerant and also if I'm low. So let me go ahead and connect the gauges. We have these here. You get a set on like Amazon, pretty cheap, or Harbor Freight. All right, so I've let it run for a couple minutes, and what we're looking at on the gauges, right now it's 105 degrees in Vegas, so this is what the pressures are showing, and yes, we are definitely low, especially for the temperature that we have right now in Vegas at 105 degrees. So, and the R134A you can pick up at Walmart. The cans are like 10 bucks. If you have a set of these gauges, then you can easily put it into your Jeep. So I do recommend having a set of these. They're pretty affordable. You get them on Amazon, like I said, pretty cheap. So the next thing is, let's go to the garage, and then we'll go ahead and change out the Schrader valves, and then we'll fill it up again. And guys, for the month of July, we are doing a tail light giveaway. So these are some new lights that I found on Amazon. They are LED, and I know some of you guys have issues with those tabs in the rear on the stock tail lights. So this will be a good upgrade if you guys need some tail lights. Check out NajarOffroad.com. Every dollar that you spend is an entry for the giveaway. Now let's get back to the video. So these make it so that you can replace Schrader valves without losing any refrigerant, so you don't have to vacuum and recharge. So the way these work is these connect, and then with this piece you take off the Schrader valve, pull it up, then you close the valve here, and then you can unscrew this part, and then the Schrader valve comes out. The system is still closed, so you're not gonna lose any refrigerant. I mean, maybe a little bit, but not significant. And then put it back on, open the valve, squish this down, and then spin it to put the new Schrader valve in. So you get the low side, which is the blue one, and then you get the high side, which is the red one. The high side is the bigger one, which is this here. The low side is this one, which is the one that's leaking on mine. I'm gonna replace both of them, but let's go ahead and remove the caps. Okay, so now we got that in there. We're gonna stick the Schrader valve remover back in. We're gonna leave this closed. We're gonna put this in here so you don't accidentally press this down. And then we're gonna twist these caps. You wanna make sure that that cap is tight. When you're working with refrigerant, you definitely wanna have some rubber butyl gloves. This is what I got, so I'm gonna use that. We're gonna open up the valve, stick the Schrader valve remover in there, and then start taking it out. And there is gonna be pressure because of the gas. It's gonna wanna push this up. So you kinda wanna put pressure down as you twist it to remove the Schrader valve. Okay, the Schrader valve is still in there. I guess this tool wasn't the right one. It wasn't big enough. So the Schrader valve tool that I bought is not gonna work. It's not big enough to go around the Schrader valve to actually take it off. So what we're gonna have to do is evacuate the system to be able to remove the Schrader valve. Luckily at work, we have all the tools to do that. So I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to get that done. We do have to vacuum it. So I have the vacuum here set up to the gauges. The way you do that is this yellow hose you use as the vacuum. You have the high side and then the low side, both connected down there. We're gonna go ahead and open up both valves. So what this is gonna do is having these open is gonna allow the vacuum to be able to be pulled from both sides of the lines. So now we're just gonna turn it on, let it do its thing. And what we want on the system is we wanna pull enough vacuum to, you see right here where it says INHG is inches in mercury. You want that to be about -30. We're gonna leave it there for about 10 minutes just to make sure that it holds the vacuum. Then afterwards, we'll go ahead and refill the system with some R134A, which this I got at Walmart, but you can get it at AutoZone anywhere really. Yeah, so we're just gonna let the vacuum do its thing. And also when you open up these valves, also make sure to open up the valves down here as well. All right, so it's not vacuuming down more than that. So we're gonna leave it there and check back, make sure that the needle doesn't move. As long as it doesn't move, that means we're holding a vacuum and we don't have a leak. The can, you will kind of want to like shake it back and forth as you're doing it, but do it through the low sides. And before you do that, you do want to purge the system using that valve right there. That way you get the air out and you just get straight refrigerant into the system. Open up the low side and then you'll see a little bit of refrigerant in the sight glass there. So now I'm gonna turn on the Jeep now that I did that and get the refrigerant flowing. So I didn't really record the process of putting the refrigerant in the system, but it is all done. I had someone from work help me out. He was showing me some tips about wetting down the can to get more of the refrigerant out. What we ended up doing is going off of what was under the hood and followed the amount of ounces that it required since we evacuated the system, and that's what we put in it. Now the temperatures weren't up to spec to the table that we were using, but honestly, it's blowing way colder than it was before. We're gonna take a temperature of the air coming out, but right now in the car, it is over 120 degrees in here, so it's pretty hot. Ambient air temperature is 114. So we're gonna let this air cool down, and then I'll show you guys the temperature. And one thing to keep in mind about these Jeeps is it's a big car. So you got a lot of hot air inside the Jeep here that has to recirculate before it gets cold. So it's gonna take about, 10 minutes of driving, 20 minutes of driving to cool down the whole car, especially when you don't have tint. So that's one thing we're gonna do on the next video, is gonna be putting tint. And I also got a custom sunshade coming, so that'll be dope. That'll help out with the heat as well. Right now we've had the AC running for a couple minutes, and let's see, you can see here it's blowing out 60 degrees, so that's actually pretty good. That's actually working well, and it's still going down, but we have the AC working finally. Like I said though, it's 114 degrees. Inside here it's over that, so it'll take a while before the car actually cools down, the ambient temperature in here, but I mean, the AC is working well. It's blowing at 56 degrees, 55. So that is working AC right there. And before, trust me, it was not cold at all. I'm standing in the shade right now because it is way too hot. But anyways, I hope this video helped you guys out. If you guys had a leak in your system through the Schrader valve, I know every leak can be different, so you can also put some dye into your system to see where you have a leak and use like a UV light. But I knew where my leak was at, and we were able to replace it and fix it and have working AC in this freaking heat in Vegas. So I'm thankful for that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to share it with a friend. Remember, once we hit 20K, we're doing a lift kit giveaway, so be on the lookout for that when we hit 20K, and I'll see you guys on the next video.